Magandang hating gabi guys. 12:30 na po ng hating gabi. Pero magbabasa muna tayo ng Bible. Kasi basa pa po yung buhok natin. Nagpapatuyo lang. Sayang kasi ang oras guys. Para hindi na tayo gigising mamaya ng maaga. Madaling araw na rin lang. Eating blood forbidden. Dito tayo sa Leviticus. Schedule ng babasahin. Leviticus 17 and 18. And Matthew 27:50. February 15 na natin to. February 15, 2021. Okay, basa guys. Magbasa rin kayo ha, para pare-pareho tayong matuto. Tsaka yung alam nyo naman yung ano ko yung mata ko hirap Eating blood forbidden. Chapter 17 to guys. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his sons and to all the Israelites, and say to them, this is what the Lord has commanded. Any Israelite who sacrifices an ox, a lamb, or a goat in the camp or outside of it, instead of bringing it to the entrance to the tent of meeting to present it as an offering to the Lord in front of the tabernacle of the Lord, that man shall be considered guilty of bloodshed. He has shed blood and must be cut off from his people." Kasi kailangan kasi guys, dalhin talaga doon sa tent of meeting. Pero kung tamad sila na hindi nila dalhin at doon lang sa camp, guilty na yun. Tsaka, must be cut off from his people. So, ititiwalag yan. This is so the Israelites will bring to the Lord the sacrifices they are now making in the open fields. They must bring them to the priest, that is to the Lord, at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and sacrifice them as fellowship offerings. The priest is to sprinkle the blood against the altar of the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and burn the fat as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. They must no longer offer any of their sacrifices to the goat idols, to whom they prostitute themselves. This is to be lasting ordinance for them and for the generations to come. Say to them, any Israelite or any alien living among them who offers burnt offering or sacrifice and does not bring it to the entrance to the tent of meeting to sacrifice it to the Lord, that man must be cut off from his people. Any Israelite or any alien living among them who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood. I will cut him off from his people. Bawal kumain ng dugo guys. For the life of a creature is in the blood, and I have given it to you to make atonement for yourselves on the altar. It is the blood that makes atonement for one's life. Therefore I say to the Israelites, none of you may eat blood, nor may an alien living among you to eat blood. Father God, bakit puro Israelites lang talaga ang kinakausap mong Sila lang ba talaga ang mo? Mga children mo, Father God? Walang ibang kasaling nation, guys. Israelite lang talaga. Pero nakalagay alien doon sa pagbabawal So, any Israelite or any alien. So, kung hindi ka Israelite, ang tawag sa'yo is alien. So, yun. Any Israelite or any, so tayo guys, since hindi naman tayo tiga Israel, alien ang tawag sa atin. Any Israelite or any alien living among you who hunts any animal or bird that may be eaten must drain out the blood and cover it with earth, because the life of every creature is its blood. That is why I have said to the Israelites, you must not eat the blood of any creature, because the life of every creature is its blood. Anyone who eats it must be cut off. Anyone, whether native born or alien, who eats anything found dead or torn by wild animals must wash his clothes and bath with water, and he will be ceremonially unclean till evening, then he will be clean. But if he does not wash his clothes and bath himself, he will be held responsible, living a holy life. After the sacrificial system for forgiving sins was in place, the people were instructed on how to live as forgiven. O, bali ano na to guys, parang footnote na siya. Yung living a holy life. Nakalagay yun, after the sacrificial system for forgiving sins was in place, the people were instructed on how to live as forgiven people. Applying these standards out lives help us grow in obedience and live a life pleasing to God. Yun yung footnote niya, kung paano maging holy life. Chapter 18 na tayo guys. Standards for the people and lawful sexual relations. Ito. Pakinggan nyo mabuti. Or basahin nyo po. Leviticus chapter 18. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws." Kita mo, yung tiga-Egypt, hindi niya pinagsasabihan. Nakalagay lang sa kanya, yung sa mga Israelite, do not follow their practices. Huwag daw gayahin yung tiga-Egypt. Father God, kung gugustuhin mo, dapat kinurik mo na yung tiga-Egypt. Hindi ba guys? You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees. I am the Lord your God. Pag sumangki yung buhok ko sa mukha ko guys, makati talaga yan. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees. I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and laws, for the man who obeys them will live by them. I am the Lord. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. No one, sa verse 6 guys, pakiulit. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. Do not dishonor your father by having sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. Do not have relations with her. Wala, sino bang makipagrelasyon sa nanay? Excuse me. Ilang minuto na tayo. Nakalagay guys, sa verse 6. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. Tapos sa verse 7, do not dishonor your father by having sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your father's wife. That would dishonor your father. Pero sino ba yung ano guys? Yung ano ng tatay niya is nagkaroon din sila ng relasyon. Ano bang pangalan ng anak niya? Nakalimutan ko na. Pero merong ditong character dito sa Bible na yung hindi naman niya mother kundi parang parang concubine ng tatay niya. Tapos naging asawa din niya. Do not have sexual relation with your father's wife. That would dishonor your father. Do not have sexual relations with your sister, either your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether she was born in the same home or elsewhere. So, kasi guys, pinagbabawal talaga yung close relative to have sexual relations. Mga close relatives. Nawala na ako. Sa verse 10 tayo. Do not have sexual relations with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. She is your sister. Do not have sexual relations with your father's sister. She is your father's close relative. Do not have sexual relations with your mother's sister because she is your mother's close relative. Do not dishonor your father's brother by approaching his wife to have sexual relations. She is your aunt. Do not have sexual relations with your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife. Napanood ko pala yun. Napanood ko pala yun sa yung anak, yung asawa ng anak, inasawa ng tatay. Kaya umiyak yung Naku po, nakikichismis pa. Yun. Kaya pala sabi ko parang ko yun. Napanood ko pala. Pero mayroon din dito sa Bible yun eh. Natandaan ko rin yun. Yeah. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife that would dishonor your brother. Sa verse 16 yan guys. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife that would dishonor your brother. Do not have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter. Do not have sexual relations with either her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. They are her close relatives. That is wickedness. Do not take your wife's sister. Ay, antok na talaga ako. As a rival wife and have sexual relations with her while your wife is living. So, bawal yung magkapatid, guys. Do not take your wife's sister as a rival wife and have sexual relations with her while your wife is living. Bakit po si Abraham tsaka si Sarai, di ba half sister sila? Si Abraham tsaka si Sarah. Di ba half sister yan guys? Magkapatid yun sa Kaya nga ang sinasabi niya dun sa king magkapatid sila. Pero magkapatid sila sa lang, sa parang sa ama or sa ina. Parang ganun. Basta alam ko half sister. Kaya hindi pa rin siya nagsisinungaling nang sabihin niyang sister niya si Sarah. Kahit asawa niya. Do not have antok na talaga. Do not have sexual relations with your brother. Yan. Tapos na yun guys. Sa verse 17 na tayo. Do not have sexual relations with what woman. Tapos na rin yan. O, sa 19 na tayo guys. Do not approach a woman to have sexual relations during the uncleanness of her monthly period. Ayan, huwag daw makipag-sex kapag may period yung babae. May monthly period. Do not have sexual relations with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself with her fame. With her fame to name. Ano ba? Do not have sexual relations with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself with her. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Moloch, for you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable. Do not lie. Sa verse 22 yan guys ha. Do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable. Do not have sexual relations with an animal and defile yourself with it. Pambihira naman. Pati ba naman sa animal makipag-sex? A woman must not present herself to an animal to have sexual relations with it. That is a perversion. Do not defile yourselves in any of these ways, because this is how the nations that I am going to drive out before you became defiled. Even the land was defiled, so I punished it. For it is sin, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you must keep my decrees and my laws. The native born and the aliens living among you must not do any of these detestable things. For all these things were done by the people who lived in the land before you, and the land became defiled. And if you defile the land, it will vomit you out as it vomited out the nations that were before you. Everyone who does any of these detestable things, such person must be cut off from their people. Keep my requirements and do not follow any of the detestable customs that were practiced before you came, and do not defile yourselves with them. I am the Lord your God. So, punta na tayo sa Matthew. Painom muna guys. So, Matthew 27. Ito lang mahirap pagka sa gabi tayo nagbasa guys eh. Yung antok pilit na nilalabanan. Katit talaga ng buhok ko pag sumanggi sa mukha. (27 to 50). Chapter 27. Okay, basa. Roman soldiers mocked Jesus. Then the governor's soldiers took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand and knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on him. Kasasabi lang na huwag mag-spit doon sa Old Testament eh. Marami kaya yan guys, yung Torah. They spit on him and took his staff and struck him on the head again and again. Then they led him away to crucify him. Jesus led away to be crucified. Sa verse 32 guys. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry the cross. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down gave watch over him there. Above his head they placed the written charge. Above his head they placed the written charge against him. "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Two robbers were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "You are going to destroy the temple and blood. You are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days. Save yourself, come down from the cross if you are the Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him. Ay, antok na guys. Elders mocked him. "He saved others," they said, "but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him, for he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" For he said, "I am the Son of God." In the same way, the robbers who were crucified with him also heaped insults on him. Jesus dies on the cross. From the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness came over all the land. About the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani? Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani? Sabachthani. Hala, rambol na. Sabachthani. Sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those standing there heard this, they said, "He is calling Elijah." Immediately one of them ran and got a sponge. He filled it with wine vinegar, but on vinegar, put it on a stick, and offer it to Jesus to drink. Then I said, now leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him. Hanggang 50 pa tayo guys, diba? And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. So yun na yung huling hininga niya. Bye everyone.